Hello everybody, my name's FlareBlitzed and we've returned back to this horrific supernatural tale of Novena Diabolos. Run into a scared girl? Something about that is alluringly mysterious and drawn to her? Don't. Succubuses would want that. Says she's quiet. There's a shaman, student, snobby girl, or lawyer. Right. I think out of all of these, I'm just going to go on a whim and find out information about the witch. Because I did think after the second murder case that it may not even be Nari, because that would be obsession rather than manipulation. So let's see what we've got going on here. Do you want to visit her? Yes. Meetings require points. You have 18 in total. Okay, so once we run out of meeting points, then we can no longer meet up with particular individuals. Let's see. Meetings increase trust. Good endings need high trust to unlock. Okay. Okay. I should go see Sumi. Let's see. I was told Sumi Chai is at the abandoned school. I'll be honest. I've only met her once. But that was enough for me to know that we won't get along all too well. You're defeating yourself before you're actually getting to know the person. I had previously assumed she's one of the local weirdos. But as it turns out, Sumi isn't even from around here. After having witnessed supernatural insanity firsthand, Sumi's words suddenly don't sound so crazy anymore. After all, she's the only one who warned me to leave this place. If Sumi is a human rather than a demonic monster, she may know more about what's going on here in Hope Hill Village. According to the motel owner, she may not actually be a student. She is a lookalike student, but she's not an actual student. She's a fake. No, not facade. Let's move on. I'm curious about who she is. If she's truly a witch trying to deceive me, she may just be among the most novel liars I've ever met, possibly. Okay, so what do we have here? Confused and with a head full of questions, I enter the abandoned school. There's a dirty, run-down, open space that must have served as a playground once. Once upon a time, when this village was not engulfed in fogs and the supernatural was not here, and the gap between fiction and reality was not so thin, and the main building's pathetic state is clear evidence that nobody has been here in a long time, except the spirits that are unable to move on from the school because they were psychopathically murdered at the school itself. And Sumi should be around here somewhere, some kind of corpse party scenario. I decide to look around. And there she is. Aha. And there she is, standing next to the abandoned storage building with her eyes closed. Why do you have your eyes closed on a very common basis, little one? It's so eerie that it's hard to muster up the courage to approach her. It's almost like with her eyes closed she is building herself an impenetrable wall from the rest of the world. Kind of like Uxie from Pokemon. If it opens its eyes, you will forget everything that you once knew and cherished and loved. Is Sumi-Chi really a human? I recall what I was told in my mysterious messages, such as... Okay. Apparently it's possible that Sumi-Chi is a witch. Yes, because one of these could be false information. So it's like one of these isn't a succubus, one of them isn't a witch, one of them isn't a fox spirit, or undead, or a vampire. Four of them are, and one of them isn't. But it's our task to see which one is not. If that's true, maybe me having come here is already part of a plan? No. I can't let doubts like that sway me right now. I have the knowledge. I gotta put forth the efforts and the confidence to go forward. I suppose sway forward, but that's not a good thing. Right now, I simply don't know whether she's a human or a monstrous witch, and unfounded suspicions and fear will only hinder my progress. I've made up my mind about all of this, At the very least, I'd ignore all those gloomy possibilities while with Sumi. I take a deep breath and walk towards Sumi. Hey, Sumi Chai, right? Hey there, okay, so suddenly your eyes are finally open. Sumi just glances at me without bothering to answer. Goodness sakes! Not much of a conversationalist. Is she just going to outright ignore me? Hello, I'm here, you know. You know, somebody else with a pulse in this village. I don't want to repeat myself, so I quietly watch her. It looks like she's not just standing there, but is actually meditating instead. Interesting. Laid out in front of her is a mat with small flags and burning incense on it. The atmosphere surrounding her is strange. All these mysterious objects weirdly accentuate Sumi's peculiar appearance. The combination of it all looks strangely intriguing. Don't be too intrigued, my friend. Intrigued enough to know, but not intrigued enough to absorb yourself into it so much. If I hadn't had my demonic encounter, I would have been quick to label her a weird, eccentric nutcase. Esoteric. Now, however, I'm actually interested in the meaning behind these objects and what it all stands for. Why am I here, you ask? Sorry? I said, why are you here? Well, just passing through, you know. This is not an area you just casually pass through. But hey, what are you doing? What's this all about? Some sort of meditation? You're praying. Okay, so that's a little different than meditating. Praying? A specialized retrograde anti-hunt prayer. Or haunt prayer. Oh, cool. I think I've definitely heard that term before. You haven't. But what exactly is it? Excuse me? What's that all about? Hey, are you listening to me? Oh gosh, to ward off a deadly plague spreading ghost. Okay. Okay, you just had to say it, not shout it. She sounds quite angry at the fact that I didn't instantly know what a specialized retrograde anti-haunt prayer was. She seems angry and highly disappointed in me at the same time. And yet trust is being gained from all this. Up until now, Sumi's always been really reserved and withdrawn. What do you mean? This is our second time meeting. So this emotional attitude is a bit too much to handle. I don't picture Sumi as somebody who had emotions. I will be here as long as I want to be, so don't you dare interrupt my train of thought with that kind of thinking process, Sumi. What? They? Who is they? Did you? I'm pretty sure that he didn't really give me any details as to what's going to happen if I do so stay here. And it's not like I can leave the village. I've already tried that. Yeah, you actually did. There's a pronounced lack of detail though. You know, got any more info to convince me to believe it? I can't keep myself from talking now. I've actually been really patient so far. What is it? Sumi lets out a frustrated sigh and keeps her mouth closed. Yep, this is really happening. She's completely ignoring me. I do my best to stay calm and composed and look at Sumi. It's safe to say that she's not an ordinary human being. Her whole attitude and the mere mention of another murder in the future leads me to believe she knows something about what's happening around here. If Sumi is a real human, she may actually be of great help to me while I'm stuck here. Or have I got it all wrong? And all of this is an act put on by a witch out to get me, even though I could manage. You have no ideas about the powers of the supernatural. But then again, none of us do. If I appear weak and defenseless in the eyes of a witch, in that case she might let down her guard and accidentally drop a cue or two for my survival. Either way, I've nothing to lose by associating with Sumi. Hey, in this village we have nothing to lose anyways, because any kind of reward is good and anything bad, well, we kind of expected it. That means for now, I'll have to learn to cope with the weirdness and become weird with her. Need her help? Offer help. Request help. Request help. Here, take a look at this. Yeah, what is that? Have you heard of Newstrace? I'm the program director there. Sumi looks puzzled. What's a program director? Is that a kind of test that we do at school? Has she really never heard of Newstrace before? Not everybody watches the news. Well, you see, it's this show. Yeah, you mean you create things that are shown on TV? Well, yeah, it's on TV, but broadcast content is a... Wow. Talk about conclusions. Thanks. Giving you some background information about myself? What's with this arrogant reaction? I honestly don't know how to react to being stonewalled like this. Oh, goodness sakes. Well, to put it in simpler terms, I need your help. One needs your help. My help? You see, I'm investigating this area. I'm doing coverage of what's happening around here, and it's too difficult for most people to fully grasp. Not meant for ordinary people to understand. I'm just going to turn up her volume. I think I set it too quietly. Remember, this is a single playthrough, so whatever choices we make, we are set in stone in it. The only way to revert back to other choices is to start from the game again, which in itself has a consequence factor to it. You can't just simply, oh my gosh, I didn't like that option, let me just load it back up again. Nah, I kind of like the fact that it's, whatever you do here, it's set in stone. It's like cutting a tree down. You can't just cut a tree halfway through, it falling down, and then realizing, maybe I should not have done this. Perhaps I should revert it back to its original state. Nah, the only way to revert it back to its original state is by planting a new seed to grow a new tree. Yes, exactly. That's why I want to ask you for your cooperation. Obviously, I'll help you in return if there's something I can do. Of course you work alone. God damn it. But wait a minute. Sumi appears to be lost in thought. There's something you're thinking of, but can't quite access it at this point in time. I concentrate on her words harder than I ever did during any job interview, especially if she's going to be enigmatic. What do you mean by maybe? It's a yes or no answer. Do or do not, there's no try. Right, 2 is always better than 1. But Sumi beckons me to come closer. I approach her and she points me at the map that's laid out in front of her. Does she want me to sit down? I hesitate for a brief moment before sitting down in front of her. There's a small statue-looking doll-like thing that she must have picked up from God knows where. From the lake, possibly, or the hotel, or the school, for goodness sakes. As well as several other highly suspicious objects. We've got a bowl, a necklace, looks like possibly dried up cherries or beads, I'm not too sure, and seeds on the table. The whole procedure doesn't stop there. Sumi opens her bag and proceeds to take out a sinister looking talisman. Receptive consciousness adaptation. Yeah, this is really leaning towards a witch kind of thing. We are? And what is it all about? What is it all about? Sumi doesn't bother answering my question and puts the talisman on the statue in front of me. She's probably like, it'll be faster if I just show you rather than tell you. It's even more bizarre and sinister looking up close. Follow your words. Great, merciful, harmonious tree. Great, harmonious, merciful tree. Great, merciful, harmonious tree. Great, merciful, harmonious tree. Louder, June. Keep repeating these words diligently. So what you're trying to say is we need to act like some sort of protester and say the same things over and over again. What is this? Some kind of spell? Once more, Sumi doesn't bother answering me and is already busy preparing something else. Oh boy, got it, alright. Right. Sumi stands in front of me, carefully holding the talisman while chanting the incantation. I can't help but blankly stare at this bizarre, ridiculous scene. I can see Sumi quietly glaring at me. Why have you not started the chant? So I guess whatever this is has started now. Great merciful harmless tree. Sumi seems to be back in the here and now. She holds the talisman up towards the sky and starts twirling and dancing around. Although this is highly dubious, but since I'm already here, I might as well do it properly. I carefully begin to recite the incantation in earnest. Despite being far from religious, I pray as if begging for mercy in front of God himself. In fact, if I want God's mercy, he would teleport me out of this crazy dimension. If this is what it takes me to survive in this hellhole, so be it. Great merciful harmless tree! Great merciful harmless tree! And then, what awaits? All of this goes on for about 10 minutes. These things require a lot of patience, I imagine. It feels a lot longer than that, though. Sumi is mumbling something under her breath, and is sweating from all the wild dancing. And I keep repeating the words without rest. After a while, Sumi stops. Yes? Have you exhausted all of your witch-like powers? Something's wrong. Why does Sumi look so irritated? Is it because it didn't work and therefore she's not a witch?
No.
Me? Yes? Oh, we didn't do it then hadn't enough. So what you're saying is, Sumi, is we should shout our hearts out when saying it aloud. But I did! I never stopped, not even once! You irrelevant thoughts, how dare you? It's almost like you can enter my mind of sorts. Hey, how can you say that? I desperately did my best. You saw how hard I tried. I protest and argue like a debuted worshipper whose faith has been questioned. You can't help it. Can't help what? Oh yeah, clouded, profane thoughts. This whole situation is a mistake. Seriously? Cleanse me first. I have nothing tarnished to cleanse in the first place, Sumi. Wait, cleanse? Me? Hey, could you, answer me? Rather than stop dodging around the question. It's like the moon orbiting the Earth rather than the moon crashing into... Okay, maybe that's a bad analogy. This time, grabbing a small bottle of water. Actually, they do say in the next 100 years that the Earth could be faced with an asteroid that could hit it. She shakes the water bottle several times and mutters something to herself again. Out of nowhere, she suddenly starts... No thanks, moving on. Starts with her jacket and... Wait, even... Hey, time out! What are you doing? Oh gosh, remember the incantation. I lower my head and try to suppress my wildly accelerated heartbeat. Get your mind out of the gutter, man. What is all of this? What the hell is happening? Great merciful harmless tree! As I recite the incantation, I open my eyes and look at Sumi. It's incredibly embarrassing to look at. She's dancing around this large open space, spraying water on herself. What on earth is this about? Maybe some prior warning would be great. Isn't it way too cold for that? No, not when you're a witch. No, wait, something else is more important. Doesn't she feel any embarrassment? She can't feel any embarrassment when she doesn't have emotions. I bow my head again. No more looking. I was just focused on reciting the words and that's it. Great merciful harmless tree. Great merciful harmless tree. Great merciful harmless tree. What? Shocked by the sudden unexpected baptism, I open my eyes. Sumi, still stark naked, is now stepped in front of my face, too close for comfort. Hey, put some clothes on! Sumi lifts up with the most innocent casual expression on her face and spews water from out her mouth on me again. Couldn't you just put it like in a water bottle or something? For goodness sakes. What's all this about now? What are you doing? Don't stop praying, okay? Yeah, but please, close! Sumi shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. Instead, she scolds me and takes another swig of water. Damn, what have I gotten myself into? Great, merciful, harmless tree, great. How long does this go on for? After several more water bottle / saliva baptisms, I just sit there feeling empty. It's early winter, which means I'm freezing my butt off on top of everything. I feel like my last shred of dignity as a human being has been stripped away by this mindless, naked being. I quietly stare at Sumi. She's danced around while holding the talisman. It's worth mentioning, but she's wearing clothes again. Who on earth are you talking to by saying that? It's almost like you're talking to somebody else. Great, merciful, harmless tree. I'm obviously not stopping, not after having made it this far. I'll just do whatever she asks of me. Not like I actually have a choice in the matter now. Oh dear, I'll try to keep my doubts at bay. But the voice in the back of my head repeatedly tells me this is totally nuts, stop it. Yes, and what now, Sumi? Sumi stops dancing. Oh great, even the naked dancing cannot be done. Whatever the effects caused by it cannot be done. What now? What? Why? How do you even know that I have a plethora of misconceptions? I want to say something in my defense, I really do, but she's actually right. It's true that my mind was all over the place and unfocused. I would love to tell her that if she hadn't stripped naked and showered me in spit water, maybe I would have been able to concentrate more. But my social skills tell me I should probably keep that to myself. Moving around this is very exhausting. Yes, it is. Because nothing is ever explained. It's like, just put up with it. I'm not going to explain what's going to happen, but just put up with it. This will have to do for today, okay? Sumi, speaking like an old lady awaiting her next pension check, starts packing her bag. After we're done, she simply walks away without saying goodbye. And I lie down on a nearby bench, feeling utterly exhausted and still bamboozled as to what's going on. My whole body aches. Like a human being would just not do that. Like a human being would not just go up to a stranger, have these kind of really weird reciting chant objects, and then starts stripping naked and and spitting water at somebody, for goodness sakes. Oh dear, that sounds like some kind of really weird H scene. Wow. I pulled out my smartphone to take a look at myself. This is insane. She really put me through my paces. I wiped my face and hair with the hem of my coat. I think it's safe to say she's casually stripping naked in front of a stranger, a grown man even. It's certainly not normal behavior. Exactly. But it's not a human thing to do. Of course, none of what followed was normal by any standard either. Still, Sumi simply doesn't strike me as just another insane person. I mean, she's crazy, yeah, but there's more to her. At the very least, she's aware that something bad is happening around here. Does she truly have the ability to ward off evil ghosts and keep them away from this place? And does that mean I'll have to keep going along with more stuff such as today? Sumi's last words come to mind. She said this will have to do for today. So that means that we are planning to meet up at another time. But that implies... Yep, I can only shudder at the thought of what else she's got in store for me. I shake my head and let out a loud, defeated sigh. But before heading to my next destination, I think about things some more. All weirdness aside, it seems like I'll be able to find Sumi here at the school in the future. And for better or worse, she's willing to help me and won't reject me. Well, if she didn't want you around, she could have outright rejected you. I'm honestly a little scared of what awaits me in future meetings with her. What else is she going to do while stripped naked? Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's burn those memories from our thoughts. Anyway, if I want to see her again, I should drop by the abandoned school when I can. I'll walk away and move on to my next destination. And how many other times is she going to abandon her kind of warmthness? There is still some time left. Who should I visit? Who should I visit? That bar is very small. So no same choice twice in a row. Yeah. I'm done for that one for now. Who to go with next? I'm not going to go with the person who tased me, for goodness sakes. Like, she is a little bit, as the game implies, shocking. But also we gain a new trait, and that is she's weird. Okay, so we collect traits as we go along. So if this is by any definition, so we've learnt one thing, then another thing, then there'll be another thing there, another. Okay, so there's probably 9 things in total which we can learn. But we don't even have 9 days to be able to meet up with somebody. Like, we've only got like 6 or 7 days left until the ritual is commencing. Monster info, which still no information has been obtained yet, so we might have selected the wrong thing. So we could probably, rather than request help, we'll offer help, something like that. Fear. That could be something that a witch would conjure up, like invoking fear through spells. Not something that a succubus would do though. And a vampire, I feel like there's going to be more. Brutalized doesn't sound like vampire. Vampire sounds more like bitten into. Fox spirit. The only thing I can think of is there wouldn't be a body, but just blood. Undead could be. Witch could be. But I'm definitely ruling out the vampire, because I don't think a vampire would actually brutalize somebody. They would leech blood off of them so that they have nothing left. Okay, so why was I flat? Oh, the notebook was just indicating where I need to go to next. Very, very interesting. Still no village logs. Hidden records. What if it's something I need to... Okay, hidden records require multiple playthroughs to collect them. Really? I wonder if the game remembers which ones you've already collected, so therefore it'd be like, we've already got this within a previous timeline. But the thing about the previous episode is that we found an ID tag with the name Park on it. So that could basically mean that it is a paradoxical thing going on here, where we've been here multiple times. A rejected accusation means the accused isn't the culprit in this case. Okay. Snobby girl. Lawyer. Quiet. Timid. I'm intrigued about what we have to learn from Rin. Yes, I want to visit Rin at the lake. Okay, I should go see Rin. Rin said she'd be at the lake. And we also look like we've already been at the lake since we're covered in water and saliva. Hello, Rin Che is stunningly beautiful, the embodiment of a picture-perfect city girl, which makes it really hard for me to imagine her some sort of hellish monster undead. The witness mentioned that Rin might be undead. Oh dear, it also looks like ropes in the background. I wonder if we need to pay attention to the background, like clues given within the game. I'm so confused by that. None of it makes sense to me. And if she really is, she sure as hell doesn't look like what movies had led me to believe. I find it really hard to connect this gorgeous woman to an undead monster. Looks can be deceiving. Every flower has its thorn, you know. Every single flower, even if it's not visible. Finding Rin isn't difficult at all. She is standing by the shore. She looks beautiful. There is no one else around, which means she sticks out and I already notice her from afar. Hello. She looks... I was about to say she looks really tired, but that's just her eyelash details. I approach Rin and start talking to her, showing a big cheerful smile, or carefree smile. Hello, Rin. What are you doing all the way out here?
안녕하세요. 또 뵙네요.
It is certainly me again, the one and only.
성함이?
The name's June. I was going to say the name's Flare. FlareBlitzed, my darling. Sunjin Park.
아.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, it's painfully obvious that Rin never made an effort to remember my name. Did I even give you my business card?
맞아. 기억났어요. 준성 씨였지?
Park. Junsun Park.
그래. 마을에서 지낼만 하세요?
I would say that life in Hope Hill Village could be a little bit more hopeful, but alas, we are sticking with what we're doing right now. Yeah, well, there's no other choice, really. The fog poses a problem. I can't leave while it's this thick.
하긴 이런 안개라면 운전도 어렵죠.
Yes, but I could just simply walk out of the village if I can actually walk out of the premises of the village. But no, this ritual has started and we have to go through with all of this.
게다가 전파도 안 터지고.
Yes, aside from the forms of communication that we receive from the devil himself.
이런 지저분한 시골 마을에 갇히셨으니.
Shabby countryside town. I would say that shabby and haunted are two different things.
준성 씨도 참 고생이 많겠어요.
Hard for you too. So you're saying you're finding it hard as well. You can say that again. And things only get harder from here on out.
사실 송구스럽긴 해요.
Why do you feel sorry for me? What about yourself?
준성 씨가 괜히 말려든 것 같아서.
You know about this ritual, don't you? The way you just got dragged into such a mess. Why is that?
도대체 서민들은 왜 이렇게들 제멋대로일까요?
I don't know why common folk are so arbitrary.
우습게 보이나?
Okay.
이런 식으로 마을을 불법 조성하면 어쩌자는 건지.
Illegally constructing? Who are you actually talking to, Rin? I'm sorry, did you just say illegally constructed?
어머, 죄송해요. 아직 아무것도 모르시죠? 제가 배려를 못 해드렸네요.
Fill me in with what? Please keep talking.
사실 이 주변 부지 우리 기업 거예요.
Your company, and somebody must have built here without your consent. Our company? You mean Yuan Construction?
정확히 말하면
Okay.
영환 기업 소유죠.
Enterprises, so the construction is just one document, but department of the enterprises.
저희 아버지가 큰맘 먹고 이번에 투자하셨거든요.
Yes, your father?
몰랐어요? 저 유영한 회장님의 막내딸인 거?
No, none of us knew that, okay? Rin sounds absolutely dumbfounded, like me not being aware of the fact is the most absurd thing she's ever heard. She's like, how could you not know who I am? Yuan Huan, owner of Yuan Huan Enterprises and all its subsidiaries. He is without a doubt the most influential entrepreneur in Korea. Which part of Korea? South or the other one? His power and influence exceeds even that of most politicians. I have heard before that Yo has a daughter, but as far as I knew, she was studying abroad somewhere. So, Yo Yuan Huan's daughter is really back in the country, and it's her. Asking questions may offend her. No, we need to inquire about this. No, let's go with what I call the honest answer. Make further inquiries. It's just that I heard his daughter is currently studying abroad.
언제적 얘기를 해요? 정말 PD 맞아?
Excuse me, but are you actually a real construction expert? Saying that out loud, for goodness sakes.
그리고 유학만 간 게 아니라 영환건설 해외 쪽 업무를 봐왔던 거예요.
Okay. It wasn't just studying abroad. I handled business for construction
거기서
overseas.
인정받아서 올해 초 전무로 진급한 거고요.
Okay.
소식 참 느리시네. 뭐 하는 PD길래 그래요?
Well, obviously that kind of news was not reaching to my eyes or ears. So, how can you say that sort of thing, Rin? I mean, is that even true? I'm baffled for a moment. If this is true, I would have surely heard about it already. Why wasn't I aware of this? I glance at Rin and my eyes are filled with suspicion. It's like she's trying to make a story for herself for us all to believe. If this stunning young woman really is the daughter of one of the country's most powerful men, me not knowing about it would be quite an issue in itself. Nevertheless, I'd never heard her name come up anywhere before. I am certain of that. There are only these two possibilities. One, she is lying, and number two, there's information which she is not giving us. There's that as well. Chairman is highly protective and doesn't want to expose her to the public eye. Or the Rin I'm seeing in front of me never really existed at all and is merely an illusion created by someone else entirely with their memories. No way. I'll do my best to cast aside the latter idea. I shake my head to rid myself of these suspicions. At least in front of her, I can't let my doubts shine through. I wasn't aware of that at all, my apologies. So I have to ask, what is it that brings you all the way out here?
오너 일가로 사는 거 쉬운 일 아니에요.
So you think this bit of land is a part of your family?
오빠들은 듬직한 가족이 아니라 싸워서 이겨야 할 적이 되고.
Oh, for goodness sakes. I don't like it when siblings get like that. Especially when it comes with business-oriented stuff. It's like, yes, let's compete with one another to see how much money or how much land we can all gain or something like
웃으면서
that.
접근하는 사람들은 무조건 의심부터 해야 살아남죠.
Weary and alert.
이런 상황에서 저 스스로를 증명하려면 발로 뛰는 게 제일 확실하거든요.
So why were you being overly friendly to us at the very start?
앞으로 피드를 하시려면 이런 상식 정도는 알아두시는 게 좋을 거예요.
Common sense and all that, yeah. This woman, she's been criticizing me quite a lot. Not all too subtly, I might add.
사실 좀 걱정은 돼요. 몸 써줄 남자 하나 있으면 좋겠는데.
That's a sudden change of pace. But at the same time, should we even really trust Rin?
운전기사랑 안개 속에서 헤어졌거든요.
You lost your driver in the fog. How does that even make any remote sense?
월급 받아먹으면서 옆에 붙어있는 것도 못하니 원. 시골 출신은 역시 쓰지 말 걸 그랬어요.
Wow, that's rather prejudiced of you to say that. Oh dear.
아무튼 이 마을 사람들 분명 저희 기업 재개발에 반대하다가 쫓겨난 사람들일 거예요.
No, that's not going to happen.
아까도 말했지만 서민들은 진짜 법 우습게 한다니까요.
It's still not going to happen. Try convincing the devil to leave the village. Now this is his playing field.
네킹볼까지 동원해서 밀어버려야 겨우겨우 꺼지니 원.
Yeah, bring a wrecking ball with a mighty Cyrus as well, for goodness sakes. That's...
그런 사람들이 우리 부지에 이딴 마을이나 세우고 있었다니. 진짜 독종들 아니에요?
Not everything is down to business, you know, Rin. For goodness sakes. There's something called personal pride.
이런 게 좀 보도돼야 서민들 의식도 바뀔 텐데 말이죠. 대기업이라면 꼭 악당이라고 보는 서민들이 아직도 많잖아요.
Yeah, large corporations are the big bad wolf because there's only one thing that they want in life and that's money. Uh-oh. I get what she's hinting at and it feels like my soul is leaving my body. Rin, however, keeps talking about her own story as if nothing's wrong. I'd actually noticed how my facial expressions turn harsher by the second. She doesn't seem like the type of person who cares much about the feelings of others. Exactly! She's only caring about her business.
그래서 말인데 공익적인 일 한번 해보실 생각 없으세요?
No. The simple answer is no. Yes?
피디님이 보시기에도 문제가 많죠.
I'm not gonna kick people out randomly, you know. And it's not if people can actually leave the village.
법적으로 허가된 일에 불응하고 불법적으로 이런 마을을 조성하고
Defiance of the law or defiance of your business? Now that's two different perspectives there.
일부러 안개가 잘 끼는 곳으로 들어가서 우리 일을 방해하려고 하는 거잖아요.
Business, business, business. Would you shut up about business? Would you actually have a conversation for once that doesn't involve business, Rin?
그러니까 저는 이 마을의 일을 해결하고
Take care of this village, yeah. Yeah, that's a really that's a really warped way of saying take care.
피디님도 제 지시대로만 하면 되니까 편하실 거고 게다가 그걸 단독으로 보도하고
Second of all, I wish I selected somebody else now.
그렇게 되면 서로
I'm
윈윈
kidding.
아니겠냐는 거죠.
Yeah, how wonderful. What she's saying sounds plausible, but doesn't mean I have to let myself be used as a puppet to further her agenda. I look at her with a confused expression on my face, but I can tell Rid is completely serious about all of this. She appears to be really serious about this. I don't like where this is going, not one bit.
물론 일에 대한 보상은 드릴 거예요.
How will I be rewarded?
저 그렇게 개념 없지 않아요?
That's how this works. You didn't think I forgot about that, did you? Yeah, thanks, rewarded.
당연히 수고비는 서운하지 않게 챙겨드린다고요.
Man hours. You mean working hours? Thanks? Question mark?
쥐꼬리만한 PD 월급보다 두둑히 챙겨드릴 테니 걱정 마세요.
Yeah, you're definitely trying to lure us in with all these false promises.
대신 준성 씨도 받은 만큼 수고는 하셔야겠죠?
Okay.
그 정도 개념은 있으실 거라 보니까.
You've said all there is to say. Okay, thanks. This is getting more and more interesting.
그리고 이번 일 잘 끝내면 저희 회사에 채용할 수 있도록 힘 좀
Nah,
써볼게요.
I'm good, thank you very much at my PD company.
안 그래도 최근 홍보 전략실 미디어 부서 마음에 안
Okay.
들었거든요.
So you're looking for somebody else who could replace them?
능력 있는 사람이 가서 싹 개편하는 것도 괜찮을 타이밍이란 거죠.
Capable and competent. Yep, that's me.
어때요? 이 정도면 꽤 신경 써서 제안 드린 건데.
Well, if she's not saying, yeah, you're definitely going to do this. She's like, you're going to consider it at the very least. Her face to be embodiment of confidence. In her mind, refusing her proposal was not even an option. I feel disillusioned by the absurdity of it all. Her proposed conditions are certainly enticing and not bad, but they are, how to put it, unconventional to say the least. Therein lies the problem. It's a blunt abuse of power. In her mind, a guy like me is merely a tool that would never reject an offer like this. Everything someone from my line of work hates the most is embodied in this young woman right in front of me. So all of this, is this the way you always do things?
뭔 말이에요?
Exactly. I mean, no thank you. First of all, I'm really curious about this place, so I will cooperate with you. But I won't accept any sort of employment relationship like you have suggested.
뭐예요?
What is it? I'll see you later. I'm a little busy right now.
이봐요, 준성 씨.
What is it, Rin? I'll walk away from the lake as quickly as my feet allow it. I arrived back at the village and let out a loud sigh. This is messed up. At first he struck me as someone just as unlucky as me, stuck it accidentally. In reality, things were a lot different. If there's one thing I'm proud of, is that I didn't lash out at her and curse her out after her outrageous proposition. I shouldn't go against her. Having her on my bad side isn't a good idea. Maintaining a good relationship with Rin Che is very important to me. Still, how the hell am I supposed to deal with someone like her? Exactly. Let's see what's going on here. Game progress saves that any chances of going back is now immortalized as a no. After finishing my late lunch, I returned to the motel. My whole body aches. I'm exhausted. I am still covered with water/saliva. Come to think of it, this has been quite an eventful day. But still, I can't afford taking a break. Well, I already have enough things lined up that I need to do next. According to the motel owner, the people in this village go back to their homes at around 1 o'clock and stay inside until evening. Maybe it's part of some crazy religious doctrine. Are they going inside to pray? Hell, I don't know. What's important is that this means I have a limited time frame in which I can move around freely without having to worry about the villagers. This means I don't have much time to gather hints throughout the village. My whole body feels heavy. But maybe it's a good idea, actually, to analyse what you've learned from the two possible culprits and go from there, possibly? According to the information... Okay, so 3:19 PM, search for clues on the culprit. Ah, so this is where we gather information around the town. According to the information given to me by the witness, the village was designed to accommodate the summoning of 5 monsters. That means the villagers must have surely collected a lot of data and information so they can properly serve the monsters. If I can gather this data, I can find out about the monster's traits and characteristics. Meaning if I use that knowledge while analysing the murder sites, I can pinpoint who the culprit is in each case. Okay, I should have a look around the area in the afternoon. There's not a lot of time during which I can move around about freely without the prying eyes of the villagers on me. Time flies by fast. I should focus on one area. Alright, where should I go? So, moving requires points. You have 7. Only 7. So we can only use one, point per person on each day. Maybe there's more chances later on. But again, this is still the middle of the day. It could be like another session where we could visit a character again. Huh. Interesting. I'm interested to see what... Oh! Oh, I love that. There's a town map. That's really cool. Because one thing in visual novels is that there's kind of a lack of geographical resemblance towards where it could all be. But this is really cool. I want to go to the abandoned school, actually. So school corridor, school gym, classroom, and school... We'll go from A to D. School corridor, go there. I go to the abandoned school corridor. I love this. It's definitely a choose-your-own-adventure in a way, but at time... Amazon delivery just showed up. Anyways, I've forgotten what I was saying. I entered the abandoned school's corridor. I think it was along the lines of, it's really nice that there are points in the game which is choose-your-own-adventure, but at other times it is... like a visual novel, where you just go through the game and read the text and see what you can form with your own ideas. The school's dark atmosphere instinctively evokes a sense of horror and dread. Maybe it's because of all these ghost stories related to schools from back then, or maybe my memories of school are bad ones, even without ghosts. I shouldn't focus on thoughts like that right now. I look around. There are many things in the corridor that have been left by the villagers. Alright, this is where I'll look around today. Let's see. Points of interest. There are magazines piled up on the floor. One of the magazines in particular stands out. Monthly Maxine, an occult magazine with pretty light content. Occult and light content do not sound like they go together. I hate stuff like that. I laugh bitterly while grabbing the magazine. Maybe it'll help me understand my current predicament. Alright, should I keep looking around? Absolutely, absolutely. We are in this for the long run. Okay, so that's an eye. I shouldn't... Okay, there's another eye. So I wonder what this box indicates over here. Perhaps that's... I don't know. But we'll click on the things that aren't eyes. There's a long steel box. It's not even that big, but really robust and heavy. I doubt I can get it open by hand. Maybe I need a key? But who's to say the key's still here, considering how messy this place is? Maybe there's a tool I could use to force it open. I mutter to myself, I should look around a little bit more. Okay, okay. Okay. Something about that paper box is off. I open it, eager to find what's inside. It's a book about past events. It's titled... Oh, this is related to the Fox Spirit. Fox Spirit Hunting Diaries Volume 1. This is the story of a hunter who tried to catch the legendary nine-tailed fox. The villagers have studied the fox spirit's traits with the help of this book. In that case, this is more than just an old fantasy story. Alright, that's important evidence. I put the book in my bag. Alright, should I keep looking around? Yes, please. Okay, there are books piled up on the desk. I'll walk up to the desk and go through the books one by one. Satanism. A magazine catches my eye. It's called Monthly Satanism. And it's also got... It's either the devs team's name on the bottom right or the translation team's name on the bottom right. H5DEV. I'll flip through it. There's some interesting stuff in there. Might be helpful for finding out more about this town. I should take that with me. I put the magazine in my bag. Alright, should I keep looking around? Yes, please. So we need to look around the school more. Ah, a cabinet. That could have a key in it. There's a cabinet that's knocked over. Open the cabinet drawers one by one. Wait, is that a screwdriver? It's a screwdriver in pretty good condition. Wow. The box I couldn't open before comes to mind. I could use this to get it open. I get up, screwdriver in hand. Ah, so it's an item box. Okay. I push a screwdriver into the box. I hold it down and press against it for more leverage. And we got it open. I can hear something breaking. The box opens up. I can't help but feel proud as I look inside. Vampire Hunter's record. So we've got information now on both the fox spirit and the vampire, but not the witch or the undead. It's a book with a lot of dirt on it. It is titled Vampire Investigation Records Volume 6. Is it like the 6th iteration of this book, or there's 5 other ones I need to collect? It's a collection of records kept by a genuine vampire hunter. I doubt villagers kept this here, just for some casual reading. I put the book in my bag. It appears to be an important piece of evidence. Alright, should I keep looking around? Absolutely, absolutely. Got nothing more to do with that box. An eye on those. And an eye on... We'll have an eye on that. There are a bunch of scattered papers in the box. Looks like they were simply tossed aside here. Maybe there's something useful in here. I'll take a look. An envelope. I'm on a lot of stuff that's of no interest to me. I'll find an envelope. It looks like a letter by one of the locals. What's there to write about in a backwater dump like this? I'm confused, but take the letter with me anyway. I can read it later. Yes, let's keep looking around. What's over here? There's space on the wall. Is this where books were kept? Now it's just full of random odds and ends. Toothpicks, toilet paper. And even some cigarettes are stored here. What have we got here? I pull out one of the items that stands out. It's an old and mysterious book. Volume 3, or Chapter 3. Succubus summoning... So we've got information on the ones which we've not yet interrogated once. It's a story of a nobleman who tried to summon a succubus. If this nobleman actually succeeded, his research could contain a vast amount of helpful information. I put the book in my bag. These findings will help me greatly. Should I keep looking around? I've looked around some more, but I couldn't find anything else. That's all for now. Aha! Village records updated. I took too long. I should go before the villagers find out. Okay, so we can only look at one part of the village at any given time. I should really keep a note of all this. I take a look at what I've gathered so far on my phone. 3 pieces of monster information as well as 3 village logs. There's also something else to put down. Alright, I should give this a careful read. So, your items are under monster info and village logs. So we'll go from left to right then. Through monster info, the culprit behind each case can be found. Click on the monster info. So let's see, Vampire Records 2. Vampire Records will serve as example. Click on the book. Righty-ho then. Ah, this gives you a key word as evidence, ancient demon language. But that could be for all of them. Ancient demon language. Right click to close after reading. Okay. So, once read, the keyword is added to the memos on the right. Okay, click on the case clues. Okay. Salmont. Okay, complete traits of the vampire to crime scene info. Vampires speak old language, but you found a different language. Therefore, a vampire could not have done it. Can be found. So click the left note. We're trying to see who wasn't so think. Yeah, that's what I thought. The culprit isn't a vampire. The vampire is not a suspect now. But what about the second case? Do this with others as well. The remaining one is guilty. Process of elimination. It's tough to find out who the real human being is, so stay vigilant. Repeat the tutorial. No. Do not repeat the tutorial. I arrive back at my room. I decide to skip dinner. Why? I fall down, in case you're sick again. I fall down and bury myself deep in the soft blanket. Honestly, my mental fatigue far outweighs the physical one. I'm so exhausted. All of this is way too complicated. Maybe outright dying straight away would have saved me a lot of headaches. A dead body, strange fog, and me right in the middle of it all. Mustering up enough courage to take pictures and document everything. In retrospect, I'm surprised at my own bravery. I don't know if I could pull that off again. And then, there are those women I met. Though fear constantly lingers in the back of my head, I tried to treat them as forthcoming as possible. Meeting them obviously helped me take my mind off things for a while. It was a welcome change to talk to normal people for once. However, the more I think about it, the more it scares me. If one of them really is a monster that's trying to kill me, I didn't notice a single thing. That's highly unsettling. Searching around and finding out what's going on is a strenuous, time-consuming task. And on top of that, despite things being troublesome enough already, the day's not even over yet. The villagers will soon start getting active as well. I don't know if I have enough time. It's a short winter day up in the mountains. There's only an hour or two left before the sun sets. Wandering around outside then is dangerous. Apart from the imminent threat of physical harm, people can get suspicious if they catch me looking for clues. The motel owner is another problematic factor. I have to stay vigilant and keep up my guard at all times. That weirdo's constantly watching me. If I've got until the sun goes down, that doesn't leave me with a lot of time. What to do? I wonder what those women are up to. I need to get the 5 women staying here to trust me. Establishing trust with all of them seems like a daunting task. And I'll have to make the most of the evenings as well in order to increase my chances. With my mind a little clearer now, I stand back up again. Time to make the best of the situation. So, we can. Okay. Snobby girl. So, we've got ourselves monster type language spoken who can summon at ceremony where you can in location. I'm interested in learning more about Sumi. I think we've only got one opportunity left with Sumi, or one opportunity in the evening. Alas. Super schooled again? Trust in me. Oh, I see. It's a little amount. Do you want to visit her? Yes. Okay, I should go see Sumi. The abandoned school. The building is surrounded by a hazy layer of ominous fog, and the vacant former playground looks just as unwelcoming as it did on my last visit. Sumi, she's here as well. As I ask myself why she'd choose this uninviting spot of all possible places, my attention is drawn to the large bag that's next to her. I didn't think about it too much last time, but that's actually a really heavy bag for someone like her to carry around. Are you sure about that for her? I wonder what she's carrying around with her. I am intrigued by the huge bag you have on your possession. Oh, it's nothing. It's just your bag. Looks like it's filled to the brim. These are... okay, purification tools. Oh, of course. Wait, what? Flashbacks to what I had to endure last time invade my mind, playing out like a repressed fever dream. Naked Sumi drowning me in a mixture of water and spit is something that I had hoped to quickly forget. For some people, that's their idea of a kinky dream. No chance. Will you do the same things as last time?
다른 거.
Something else. Okay, if it involves being naked, no thank you. Something else? Sit down, okay. Without giving me a satisfying answer, Sumi orders me to sit, pointing at the designated spot. Okay. With a deliberate loud sigh to make my frustration known, I hesitantly take my seat. Sumi pays no mind to my audible concerns and is already putting something out of her bag.
눈 감고.
Close both of your eyes, okay. Put my hands together like this, like accepting a bowl. Will I repeat the same words as last time when our eyes are
그냥
closed?
경건하게 앉아 있어.
Just sit down in reverence.
불순한 영혼을 참여하면서.
Chanting words which we still do not understand. I really want to know what I did that's worthy of me having to repent. But something tells me that asking Sumi won't net me an answer. So I just close my eyes and put my hands together. Great. Okay, there's a non-stop bombardment of strange sounds that makes my imagination run wild. What are they actually trying to do this time? What's going on? I can only no longer fend off my curiosity and open my eyes a little. What? What is happening? As I sit there panicked, embarrassed, plus filled with a wide variety of other emotions, Sumi approaches me. Wait. What?
가만히 있어.
Do not move. As soon as Sumi close enough to me, she grabs me by the back of my neck with one hand while pressing the other hand against my forehead.
아무가 바이로 차나 마함무드란마니 바드마지 바라 브라바를 타야 훔.
No idea what this language is, I'm not gonna lie. Sumi keeps repeating words I can't make sense of and presses against my forehead to put me in a lying position. It's such a sensory overload that I can't resist. I lie down and let her hand lead me. It was like she's leading the dance. As soon as I'm completely on my back, she picks up what appears to be a stick made of bamboo. She looks at me with determined, glaring eyes. Hey, don't tell me you're going to...
약간 아프다. 참아.
What do you mean it hurts a little? You gonna pickaxe my head? No, this isn't... I think there's been some miscommunication. Oh, that, okay. Sumi starts beating me with a bamboo stick and doesn't hold anything back. Arms, legs, face. Really? Is that necessary? Hey, what are you doing? I definitely try to claw away. My survival instincts are now in full effort, especially after that last hit. Did you really have... Do you realize how much this hurts? Lord have mercy. Am I being dragged around? I already noticed this before, but her enormous strength simply doesn't match her small frame. No, please. Wait a minute. Stop it. I found myself crouched and slumped, but not knowing what to do. Exactly. At that exact moment, the vicious blows suddenly stop. I look at Sumi with teary eyes. Astonished, embarrassed, humiliated, you name it, I feel it. Sumi starts walking. Sumi suddenly walks away. She's muttering one of her incantations again.
왜 누워있나?
Why do you think I'm on the ground? Do you not have any kind of humility or sympathy for others, Sumi? Huh? What are you even saying? You put me on the ground in the first place.
음식 끝났으니까 일어나라고.
Thanks, but I'm still in pain.
일어나서 기도해.
Still not explaining anything. You're so enigmatic. I don't know if it's because of a brutal barbaric bamboo beating or a general sense of defeat, but I find myself acting surprisingly obedient and submissive and start to pray. Let's see. I think it's great, merciful, harmless tree. Yep, that's the one.
품지 말고.
What do you mean mischievous thoughts? I haven't got a single cell of mischievousness in my entire body. I'll have you know, something tells me following her orders is a smart choice here. Or not. I start praying, vowing to myself to do my best, even though I still highly disagree with the savage way she treated me. Great, merciful, harmless tree. I won't fail again. I'm giving it my all, trying to suppress any other thoughts that could potentially interfere. Meanwhile, Sumi has been at it with another strange dance routine, and is now kneeling down, talking to herself while blankly staring at the sky. After a while, she slowly stands up, as one does. It is over. Whew. I exhale loudly and lean back. Here I was, thinking the worst that could happen would be an uncomfortable spit Exactly, but instead I got beaten into a helpless fetal position. Feel pathetic. I look at Sumi and have to try really hard to suppress my rising anger. It's hard to tell what she's thinking, but she looks strangely satisfied. It's over now?
접신만 겨우 끝났다. 이제부터 퇴마를 해야지.
Thanks. You can already sense a lot more purity coming from us? Question mark? Hey, I've been wondering this ever since last time. What exactly happens to you while you do your thing?
무당은 신과 소통할 때야 지혜가 충만해지고.
It is only when a shaman directly communicates with God that their wisdom reaches its peak.
아니, 알 필요 없겠지.
These are things you don't even... Well, if you're going to say that, then our interest is going to peak. After being oddly talkative for a moment, Sumi returns to her old, much less forthcoming self. Looks like even she got a little excited herself there for a moment, of course. Alright, maybe this is my chance at a natural conversation.
이제 볼 일 없다. 가봐.
What do you mean, leave? Leave? That's it? Just like that?
바쁜 벌꿀은 낭비할 시간도 없어.
Busy bees shall not waste honey. But you didn't get anything out of it. Like that. Yeah, I'm so... What? Honey? No answer, as always. Sumi waves her hand a little without even bothering to look at me. I still find it hard to accept this cold demeanour of hers. My original plan had been to talk to her about some things, but her general disinterest and my ceremony-induced fatigue make me unable to even bother. I also leave the abandoned school without bothering to say goodbye. Ouch. While walking away from the school, I blatantly feel the aching pain in the delicate areas that Sumi hit with the stick. Though the impact sounds made it sound more painful than it actually was, I have no doubt that this will leave some nasty bruises. I gently rub the parts that hurt the most and start thinking about everything that just happened. I'm hoping that the motel owner doesn't mistake it as some kind of love kiss. Oh, bite mark. She's in direct spiritual contact with a much higher being, or so she claims. In that case, there's a high probability she plans on exercising the evil in this village I've encountered myself. You again. But I have my doubts if any human could handle such a wicked foe. During my demonic encounter, my whole body was frozen stiff. It was completely overwhelming. But he does look very handsome, I'm not gonna lie, minus the things coming out of his head. Even if she has the ability to exercise evil spirits, is she probably equipped to deal with that caliber of foe? Filled with a rising sense of anxiety, I look back in the direction of the abandoned school. I think about Sumi. Despite everything, she appears fragile and weak on the outside. Is it really okay for me to leave her alone in a place like that? I'll look at the school while lost in thought for a while longer, then head towards my next destination. I don't have the time to waste either. Okay, so we only have one more opportunity with a person which we've already visited on the first time around. Having finished everything on my schedule, I'm back in my room. The sun's already setting. In my opinion, this day went by too fast. Whew. I threw myself on my cushy blanket. And then, everything that's happened has exhausted me. I'm too tired to move. But still, I should sort out and order everything I found out during my investigation today. Let's see. Conclusions. Provide info about the motive and culprit. Let's see. Click on conclusions. This is where trust levels can be seen at a glance, which we have not got these levels yet. While listing suspects at the same time. Nope. It appears that there isn't enough information to arrive at a good conclusion yet. I put my phone away and fuse with my soft blanket again. It feels like I'm still aimlessly wandering through the fog, but if I keep going at it little by little, step by step, maybe it's... Hopefully the devil doesn't invade our sleep again. Game progress saved. Lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so maybe we do have opportunities for to fill up one person's bar, but not everyone's. 2 at the very max, 1 at the very least. I wake up to the loud vibration on my phone from the devil himself. Actually, it's the same volume as usual, but it feels amplified in my head. I must be very sensitive if this is enough to wake me up. I just need to get some damn sleep already. My fear of the anonymous messages have all but vanished. It fully feels like a wicked, twisted game by now. Let's see. 5 days until the selection. Just the message I expected, though. Message. Looks like a group text intended for multiple recipients. Slightly nervous, I put my phone down and head for the bathroom with staggered steps. Okay, I'll wash my face to clear my mind a little. The more clear my mind becomes, the more aware of the state my body is in I get. With a sense of melancholy, I recall sitting on the massage chair at my favourite where I used to be a regular. That thing could get rid of all my troubles and aches at once. Thinking back on it, I bow my head. I don't want to laugh. Not blow my head. Think about a bang in a situation like this. Funny how the human mind works when we're desperate and paralyzed by reality. Yep, desperation. I'll walk out of the bathroom and pick up my phone right away. If there was a murder today, I should have received the location via text already. But curiosity. No text pops up no matter how long I wait. It seems like no such terrible incident occurred today. It's embarrassing to admit, but for a second I somehow feel grateful to these damn monsters. It almost feels like a gesture of kindness, not to be tortured with brutal murder cases for a change. Still, I know full well that this only means things are about to get even nastier after a short break. I should make the most of this temporary peace. I still have a lot of work to do. I'll leave the room while sighing loudly. So, we're not going to interact with a motel owner. I finished my morning walk having a look at the surrounding terrain. I'm looking for possible escape routes for myself. Even if I pick out the human on the last day, it's all for nothing if I'm stopped in the middle of the escape. I can't let all this effort I'm putting into this be in vain. My morning routine is just about over. Encounter with who? Time for my date now, according to my schedule. What constitutes a date anyway? I love myself. Dating is a very leisurely choice of words, and it's a very leisurely thing to do as well. It doesn't involve being beaten to death or being spat at, or being given propositions about business proposals and all that kind of gist. I have to establish trust with these women, enough to make them believe in me and follow me on the last day when the time comes. Trust. A simple concept, yet still so difficult to establish. It's important for me to meet them as much as possible, and find a way to make them trust me. Alright, time to meet up with them now. Right, exorcisms? Question mark? Exorcisms? So we've got a little bit of trust. I'm still going to be... I think you probably figured it by now, but I'm going to be concentrating on Sumi the most, whereas we're going to be having little bits of other girls to the side. Not physical bits, like mental headspace bits of seeing them. Getting to learn them as well, but also provides a little bit more clarity towards the overall arcing story of the game. If we have one main girl, and then everyone else's side pieces. What the hell am I even saying? Meeting point, Sumi. I wonder why we only got 18. Probably because 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So yeah, 6 days. So this is definitely 5 days left. Sumi. Sumi! Sumi in all this. Yes, we do. Okay, I should go see Sumi. I arrive at the abandoned school. Again, in the same spot. Sumi, she's here again as well. She's praying or meditating like usual. It feels good to see a familiar face. Being able to have someone I can exchange a few words with in this godforsaken place is a small source of comfort. At this time, I've been meaning to ask her why she picked this spot of all places. But so far, everything I was about to ask Fiends, well, escalated. I started to get flashbacks to recall the rough treatment Sumi gives me on previous visits. She said she's done last time. If this means no more rituals, I should be fine, right? Hey Sumi, I'm here. Hello. What did I do this time?
함부로 나다니지 말라고 했을 텐데. 그러다 죽는다.
Well, if I don't move, I die. If I move around recklessly, I die. I'd rather move around recklessly because that means I've got a fighting chance. You really like to emphasize that, don't you? I'm just here because I was worried about you.
걱정?
Yeah, worried? You mentioned exercising evil.
쓸데없는 걱정.
Yeah, right. As time goes on, my worries will be more and more in your head, Sumi. So sue me about it. Okay, I take it that means the whole exorcism thing is going well? Sumi doesn't answer. Why am I not surprised? Because it's outside of our need-to-know basis. Besides following my question, however, feels strangely different this time. Puzzled by the sudden change in atmosphere, I look at Sumi.
준비할 게 더 남았어.
You have more preparations to make. Okay. Yeah. I'm curious and would love to inquire further, but I have a feeling that it would get me nowhere. I don't expect to answer any of my questions anyway. Still, I give the impression that something she had in mind didn't go quite according to plan.
그럼 난 바쁘니까 이만 가보게.
Well, this is a wasted effort, don't you think? Okay. Whoa there! You okay, Sumi? Out of nowhere, Sumi suddenly collapses and falls down. Hey, Sumi, are you okay?
말리고 치지 마.
What do you mean don't make such a fuss? What? What's wrong with you? Sumi loudly holds me back and slowly gets back up, proceeding to pack her things as if nothing ever happened. What's the deal? Wait, I take a look at Sumi's legs. Something about them looks strange. There it is. I can see a big black bruise. Hey, what's wrong with your legs? I know she must have heard me loud and clear, yet Sumi doesn't answer. Instead, she simply picks up the immensely heavy-looking bag. You say that it's nothing, but yet it's anything but nothing, Sumi. Where are you going? Hey, don't overdo it, you're straining yourself.
정말 오지랖 넓네.
But why did you need it to be so heavy then?
나도 이 꼴로 어디 돌아다닐 생각 없다.
Or maybe it wasn't as heavy, like feeling-wise. Do you need some help with that, Sumi? You can always ask for help. You know, it's not that hard to ask for help, you know. Well, that's a relief. Sort of. That's a normal reaction for once. So where are you headed?
표정이 왜 그러나?
What, that look of concern? Huh? What, me? I stutter a little and feel caught. I must have done a really bad job at hiding my relief. So anyway, where did you want to go just now?
저기에 여관 있어.
Yep, that's where we are. The one in Hope Hill? What a pleasant coincidence. I'm staying there too, so we can go together.
거기 묵고 있다?
Yep, I am. Where else would I find a place to sleep around here? Sumi, apparently somewhat skeptical of my words, starts walking towards the village without saying anything. Hey, I said we're going together! I quickly catch Sumi and start walking alongside her. This looks like some sort of gates. Give me all that baggage of yours. Wow, being a gentleman, aren't we?
그럴 필요는 없.
But we're going to. I grab her things without bothering to take no for an answer. I get a feeling she really wants to complain, but after a while she accepts it and quietly follows me, and I arrive at the motel carrying something that's much heavier than it looks. I try really hard to make it look like I'm not struggling with a weight. The sweat will mean otherwise. The sweat will say so otherwise, my man. A few moments later, Sumi and I arrive at the door to the room she's staying in.
이제 짐 돌려줘.
Okay, sure thing. Can you open the door first?
괜찮으니까 돌려달라고.
What's wrong with your room, then? I know we're being too inquisitive here. We're almost there, so I might as well cross the finish line. Just open it already. Sumi is audibly annoyed and searches through her bag. I feel like I'm gradually learning how to communicate effectively with her. So with some sort of force. Okay. Did you leave something behind? Did you leave something behind, Sumi? What is it? Yeah, what exactly is it? Okay. Key? Oh, key. You mean room key? Is it gone?
손가방?
Handbag. Handbag? Is that where you put it? Then where's the handbag?
맞아. 태교 교무실. 거기야.
I'm not even gonna ask. You left it there? You sure about that?
기억났어.
You remember now.
갔다 올게.
Great. Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? I'll find it.
너가?
Yeah.
왜?
Sumi asks a really important question. Well, you see, I can't have you walking around out there alone with your injuries, can I? I'll go get it for you, so don't worry. Anyway, let's go to my room and see if you're hurt. Someone tells me Sumi's not fully convinced yet. By now, I've learned that waiting for her to reply is a waste of time in most cases. I open the door to my room, which happens to be right behind me. What a coincidence.
내방 앞이었어?
What a coincidence. I don't also push Sumi's back to get into my room. Well then. Sumi, having entered my room without offering up much resistance, leans against the wall. Something tells me that she'll no longer be so stubborn. Show me your feet. Okay, there is a deep dark blue bruise, I thought it was black, on the foot that Sumi pushes out. Good thing I have an ointment for bruises like that. I take the ointment from my first aid kit and carefully apply it to Sumi's foot. It must really hurt. Sumi's legs are fiercely shaking as I apply the ointment. Wanna tell me what happened?
말아 못하려고.
You know what you're doing. Is this one of your exorcisms? Is it normal for you to get injured like
그냥
this?
실수다. 아직 적응이 안 돼서.
Okay. Used to it? To what? Yeah, the question still remains unanswered, which is something I've already gotten used to. I respond with a shrug. Any reason in particular why you're up and about when you're this hurt? Yeah, I ask her, fully prepared to receive the same silent treatment as always. Start to get to know her when I mostly end up talking to myself. Talking to a brick wall!
역귀를 몰아내야 하니까.
Because I have to drive out the evil that lingers. The plague-spreading ghost?
내가 퇴치하지 않으면 안 돼.
Okay, so once this ghost goes away, what will happen to you then? Or what will you do afterwards? I'm positively surprised at Sumi briefly letting me in on what happened. I try not to show it openly, but I feel like I've gotten a little closer to Sumi without having realised it. Alright, that's that. I finished wrapping a tight bandage around the bruised areas I treated with the ointment. I stabilise it with tape and look at Sumi. Sumi fiddles around with the bandage and looks at it with a mixture of curiosity and amazement. Then she looks back at me.
어디서 배운 거?
The outside world. School of life. It just happened naturally.
그게 무슨 소린데?
Oftentimes in my field of work, I can't afford to take a rest when I'm hurt. So therefore we have to learn to heal ourselves while on the job, if so to speak. That's why I need to know these things to keep moving.
바쁜 일인 모양이군.
Very busy indeed. That's a PD's life. Always busy, always on the move. And I'm proud of it.
이제 덜 아파.
Okay, that's good. Don't start moving around just yet though. I've only done some basic first aid measures. Something the matter?
내 보기보다 착해?
Hey! Do you think we look mean? That's... was that supposed to be an insult?
아닌데?
Okay. Well, anyway, I'll have to be abandoned school. You set the keys in your handbag, right?
교무실에. 빨간색이야.
It's red. Kind of like blood red. Red handbag? Office? Got it. I'll come back soon. Lay low until then.
검고 긴 옷을 입은 사람들. 조심해.
Beware of those in long black robes. Wow. I'm sorry, what? Black robes?
그 사람들 공력이 엄청나. 너 따윈 상대도 안 돼.
Okay, so this is kind of like a classic hide and seek. Well, not hide and seek, but hiding away from these kind of things.
보이면 무조건 숨어. 도망치거나.
If you cannot outpower it, you have to be stealthy about it. Sumi sounds uncharacteristically caring. She's serious. I could tell by the look in her eyes. Black robes. Those things. Don't tell me. She's talking about them. Okay. If I see one, I'll hide, promise. With these words, I'll leave my room. Time to head to the abandoned school. Huh? On my way to the school, I spot two villagers. They are engaged in a conversation and have no idea that no clue that I'm nearby. Eavesdrop? What do I do? Should I eavesdrop? I will carefully eavesdrop on the conversation. I sneakily hide in the large shadow of a nearby building. I focus all my attention on their conversation. There's an abandoned school over that way. Abandoned? How come? Well, I had some business nearby actually. I heard a sound, something awfully loud. Something strange went on in there. That sound sent shivers down my spine. Don't be afraid of things like that. It was most likely the priests doing their thing. People like us shouldn't pry. Let's just leave them alone. It's better that way. Let's get to work now instead of talking. The two men walk away. Does that mean something happened at the school? I stand there with a puzzled look on my face for a while, then keep walking. I guess I'll see for myself soon. Don't overthink. Just go there. There's a soul-crushing aura surrounding the school, decrepit and on the brink of collapse. This doesn't seem like a place anyone should ever enter. I'm worried because of what I've heard the villagers say earlier. Did something happen here? A troubling story. Come on, John's son. Keep it together. I try to calm down and slowly head to the abandoned school. Oh no. The school itself isn't actually that big, so finding the office that Sumi mentioned isn't too difficult. But then again, that means there's not a lot of spaces to hide in. However, I'm sensing something dark and unsettling coming from inside the office. I hesitate and wait in front of the door for a while. I'm such a coward. I take a deep breath and thoroughly ready myself, mentally preparing for the worst. Everything is weird around here. Being nervous is perfectly reasonable, but I can't just stand still and wait for things to suddenly change. Determined, I open the door and step into the office. The place is a mess. Ravage doesn't even begin to describe it. Shattered windows and scratches that I can't quite place. Enough to make me realise something unusual happened here. Are these traces of Sumi's exorcism, I wonder? My eyes wander around the room. Whatever it is, it really bent the metal frame or the metal frame of that window. Ah, there it is, a red handbag, just like Sumi said. I pick up the handbag and look inside. Sumi's right. There's a key in there with the number 303 on it. Thank God, lucky me. This went a lot better than expected. I take another look around the office. Might as well check if there's anything else of interest here. I doubt there's anything here, but we could knock two birds with one stone actually. We could search here and then go from there. I mumble to myself and start to rummage through the office. Maybe it's not one of those investigative times though. I look through the room but nothing catches my eye. It's an abandoned school, neglected and forgotten. It's only natural there's nothing left here. I sigh and reach out to the last remaining broken down cabinet. I open the door. Inside there's a diary? Looks like an elementary school diary. I casually pick it up. I start going through the diary. The entry I'm at is written in childlike crooked letters, and there are traces of a teacher having made corrections. I flip the diary and look at its front again. It was written in 1979. How many years ago was that? Now, from the present day now of this game? And by the way, for us, that is 32 years ago. 42 years ago. Yeah, definitely 42. 1979, wow. This is a diary of someone much older than me. The thought makes me feel strange, despite it being a regular, simple diary otherwise. I open the cabinet door again. I put the diary back and take out another one. Something Park. I turn the page while reading the diary owner's name. February 11th, 1979. School started today. Yesterday, the daughter of that shaman's house mommy told me about transferred here. So that should be Sumi. Her name is Sumi Choi. Her hair is as white as Granny's. Her bangs look shabby. The kids make fun of her and says she's ugly and poor. How dare they? Sumi Choi? I look at the diary's front cover again. 1979. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Maybe it's just a coincidence? The name is not exactly common, but also not one that's so unique that it only exists once. But the name Sumi Choi, and mention of shamanism, white hair, what are the chances? I was told Sumi could potentially be a witch. In that case, could the witch maybe have borrowed the body of Sumi Choi who lived in the past? Oh man. So trying my hardest to process what I found, I take a deep breath and keep reading. The ugly girl has no one but her father, so the teacher told us to be nice. But she is really unfriendly and doesn't even answer when she's asked something. Aha. Gotta give her a little more patience. She gets angry when you keep asking. She reminds me of some crazy stray dog, so I'm scared. After school, I told me about the ugly girl. But Mommy said the whole shaman family is dirty and I shouldn't play with her. February 20th. After school I saw the ugly girl when I was walking home with K1. I saw kids throwing dirt at her and we did too. The ugly girl became angry and chased us away. We ran and played some more. Okay, so this is a bit in the future. Today the ugly girl walked home alone again. I often see her because her house is in the same direction as mine. I quietly walked behind her. I was the only one who didn't throw dirt at her today. I saw the ugly girl helping the old lady next door. She had problems crossing the small stream nearby because of her bad legs, and the ugly girl helped her cross it. The old lady is really nice, so I ran and helped as well. She gave us steamed sweet potatoes to thank us both. I don't think the ugly girl is evil. Exactly. Today the kids threw dirt at the ugly girl while she was walking home alone. K1 too, but I didn't. The others looked at me strangely, but I didn't want to. John followed me and asked me what the matter was. I told him I was annoyed and just wanted to go home. I decided to talk to the ugly girl today, so I told myself that I wouldn't get scared if she got angry again. I asked her what she was going to do once she was home, and she said it was none of my business. I got angry too, and we ended up fighting again. I was angry because something came and said something mean to her, so she fought him instead. I apologized to her later. I've been walking home together with her for a few days already now. At first she seemed not to like it, but now she speaks normally and even answers me when I ask her something. The other kids give me strange looks when they see us together. I'm worried that they will bully me too. I saw them watching us closely. While walking home with the ugly girl, they, who usually bullies her, threw dirt at me. When she saw this, she became furious and chased them. Then she beat him up. I have never seen her hit someone before. When they started crying like a baby, I had to laugh. He was too scared to even make eye contact with her. It was so funny. The diary ends here. I look at a pile of the other ones. If I keep reading through those, I might be able to find out more about this person named Sumi Choi who was around in 1979. However, a lot of time has passed already, and the later it gets, the harder it is to move around. I take the diary and leave the school. Genok Park. I should definitely investigate that person further. Maybe it's not paradoxical.
엄청 늦었어.
My apologies. I had to hide and all that jazz. The very first thing I hear upon entering my room is Sumi's stern, reprimanding voice. It looks like I was so immersed in the diary while reading it I lost track of time. But I can't tell about that now. Sorry about that. Here you go. I pass the red handbag to Sumi. And Sumi takes a look to check if the key is there. And gets up straight to pick up her baggage.
그럼 나 가볼게.
You will leave now. Are you sure that's a good idea? Hold on a sec. I'll carry your things.
됐어.
Okay. It sounded like she was saying piss off, but obviously it's not that. She's still so cold. And here I was wondering if maybe I'd managed to get a little closer to her. I walked behind Sumi, unable to see through her enigmatic personality. And again, Sumi, having opened the door, tries to move all her baggage on her own. There's really no need for her to act so prideful. I approach her and help her carry the things aside. And I wait until she's inside her room and then move her baggage inside, carefully setting it down. Don't remove the bandage yet! Yes? Well, I'll move back to my room. Oh dear. Sumi Choi 1979. I have no idea what to make of that yet. I think I'm going to try something very important here. I have to find out more about this diary's original owner. Grensuk Park. I keep pronouncing names incorrectly, I know. Let's see, there's still some time left. Who should I visit next? Well, I can visit Sumi again? Really? Well then, I suppose that is the case. Let's just try filling up Sumi's bar and then go from there with the others. But I'm really intrigued by this game, honestly. Like there's a lot of different layers to this, which is really nice. So, got Vampire, Succubus. So, let's see, Succubus Records. So, there's no others would work. Okay. Eastern Symbol, 1484, and it ends there. That is really bizarre. Like, it would be really fascinating to do like a lore video on this game, looking over each of these entries and trying to piece together like who did what. But this, I believe, is nice because it's the first records. I'll go over this more in detail in another time. Secretly working with a provincial government. Investigate a strange matter. Chuno's diary. Chuno Kim. Man appears too cowardly. Time to beast himself. 1919. So all of these have different time frames. The Succubus one was much earlier in time, whereas a Fox Spirit is more in the present. But this seems very far into the future at the, well, since it's the 6th record. Location is a lake. Forests. Vampire forests. So we can definitely rule out the possibility of the vampire leeching the life of somebody from the abandoned building. This was in the forest, so this could be the vampire. No, that's the lake, actually. Forest Lake. And oh, that's vampire accepts all ways. Witch, undead, a monster of fear. That could be this one then. So the Fox Spirit could be the first case suspect. We're heading somewheres. Okay, folks, we are going to actually conclusions. So we're 40% of the way with Sumi. Sounds like Sumi, but Sumi. You can check the trust value and investigation stats of everyone at a glance. That is indeed the case. Village, actually, yeah, villager's log. Letter, sorry. Half year. Again, I'll look at all of this in another time. What I really wanted to do at some point throughout the entirety of this game is just try and find every single thing going on and then document it so that people who play this game in the future can then look back onto what I'm going to build for this game and then see that if they're missing a particular letter or a particular log, then they can refer to my walkthrough of that. Like, I feel like that's something that I can provide. About Ancient Demon Ton. Korean Hangul. Ancient Chinese. Only 54 characters. It's really fascinating. Grief. Like, this is kind of backstory about the village itself, or the inhabitants of the village, and the history behind it. Nothing about monsters, nothing about hidden records. Fascinating. Very, very fascinating. Although that diary we picked up has no indications of accepts or ways. That's still too vague of a clue. That could actually be undead being in the lake. Or, yeah, by the lake. Anyways, folks, thank you all so much for watching, and we shall see each other in the next time of Novena Diabolos. Things are highly intriguing. I'm loving this game, honestly. I love the different ways in which the characters are talking to you, but also as well the lore of the game is so interesting. I think the lore for me is more interesting than the actual characters, but the characters themselves do speak volume. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next time of Novena Diabolos. Have a lovely day and take care of yourselves, everyone.